delightful neckerchief. I'm Ashley. Hello. When I was in the 8th grade, I was a glasses, braces, and headgear wearing 14-year-old. My parents were always super encouraging, so I had a really high self-esteem. Not normal for the 8th grade. At that age, I wanted to be a famous actress. I was a huge Oprah Winfrey fan, and I truly felt that if I could get into contact with her, that I would be rich and famous myself. I was obsessed with boys. I had an uncomfortable amount of New Kids on the Block posters in my bedroom. And from the 5th to the 8th grade, I had a long list of boyfriends. I had 20 boyfriends. Very vanilla, we mainly just held hands. I wanted love, fame, and straighter teeth. April 6th, 1992. This is the first diary I've ever kept before. Sure, I've had others, but I never really wrote in them faithfully. I'm auditioning for The Crucible. I love to act and hope to one day be a famous actress. It is 2 days since I broke up with Brian. I did it because I was scared. I had never loved someone as much as I had loved him. Tomorrow, I'm leaving for the class trip to Washington, D.C. at 10 p.m. Brian is riding the bus. I hope we get back together. But hey, Jim and Mark are cute too. I have braces and wear headgear. Love, Ashley the Great. That was my nickname for myself. Like I said, high self-esteem. April 11th. Wednesday was pretty boring. We drove around and saw the White House. I have to put my headgear back on and it kills. Love, Ashley. Sunday, April 12th. Today was the best day of my entire life. Brian and I went to see White Men Can't Jump. We actually only saw about 15% of the movie. The rest of the time was spent in a lip lock. It was great. I can now truthfully say he filled me up. Love, Ashley. Monday, April 13th. Auditions went okay. I didn't make it, but I do get to usher. So much for the acting part, though. Maybe there's some hope in this dreary world. And monkeys might flat on my butt. I am wearing my headgear. I'm sick of it. Love, Ashley. Tuesday, April 21st. Mother Nature has a twisted sense of humor. Luckily, she will have left me by Saturday. Easter came and went. I got a Madonna CD and went to church. My headgear makes me drool. Love, Ashley. Monday, April 27th. Brian and I are in a fight. I called him a small male organ. I talked to Dave for 3 hours today. Maybe I should go out with Dave instead. Love, Ashley. Friday, June 5th. Yesterday was the talent show. Heather Moyer and I played tequila on our saxophones. It was so much fun. Guess what Brian said? Nothing. Well, that night we broke up. I have very strong feelings about love now. You only find it once, and that is who you marry. Brian took my heart out of my soul and did a Mexican hat dance on it. Love, Ashley. Tuesday, June 15th. I played a game called Suck and Blow. You have to sit boy, girl, and pass a card from mouth to mouth by sucking it to keep it stuck to your mouth and blowing it to the next person. This is where I got the nickname Hoover. We also played spin the bottle. We didn't have a regular bottle, so we used Laura Anderson's insulin bottle. Now I'm going out with Jim. But Kate called him to say that I was breaking up with him. Okay, so we had this thing called fake breakups, where your girlfriend would call your boyfriend on the phone, you would be there on the other line or in the room, quiet, and she would break up with him for you, and then depending on his reaction, you might break up for real. It was a joke, but he didn't know that. She hung up with him before she said she was kidding. How could I have been so stupid as to let her talk me into this? Dad says bad things come in threes. I'm due for a win in the lottery or a call from Oprah saying I'm famous. I'm off to an early bedtime. I just thought I should mention there was a bomb squad, 2 police cars, and a fire truck outside of our house. Love, Ashley the Great. So after Jim and I really did break up, my journey for romance became more desperate. And I began to stalk and obsess over everyone I came into contact with. This next entry is from my family's vacation to Arizona. Tuesday, June 30th. Tonight we saw a baseball game. I saw the most gorgeous guy I have ever seen in my entire life. He was a bat boy. During the 7th inning stretch, I went up to him and asked for his autograph. He said he wasn't on the team. I said I knew that. While he was writing his name, I asked him what school he went to. He said Central. I found out Central is in Phoenix. I looked up his phone number and called the operator, but his number is unlisted. I have to find him. I'm really upset over this. The only way to find him is if I become famous. Then I can start a statewide search. Something I must remember. When God closes a door, he opens a window. There must be a whole hallway full of windows for me about now. Last night, I woke up with my shoulder and half of my face soaked. Headgear. Love, Ashley. July 2nd. I really want to get Brandon to ask me out. He is the only guy I know that wouldn't want to get drunk or screw. That's my kind of guy. I got the Caruso molecular hair system. Love, Ashley. July 12th. I saw Sister Act. D-Day, Diet Day. Oprah talked about how she lost 75 pounds in 6 months. That's it. Watch out, world. I'm back. Back in bed is more like it. I have mono. My headgear makes me drool. Love, Ashley. August 7th. I need to find that bad boy. I know his first name is John, but I can't read the last name. I need to find him. I'm going to write to Oprah so I can see that bad boy. So this is a picture of his actual signature with the heart around it that I saved until I was an adult. My new glasses aren't that bad. Now everything has detail. Love, Ashley. So I never found that bad boy. But I still very much at the time ascribed to all things Oprah. So in true Oprah fashion, in this last entry, I channeled all of my wants and desires and sent them out into the universe. September 15th. I am overcome with the flow of emotions. No one understands how I feel. I want to marry Joey McIntyre, move to $1 million mansion in the woods of Virginia, have 2 kids and a dog, star in dozens of blockbuster movies, and live happily ever after. I want all of this to happen within the next year so I don't have to go to college. I possess the power to make my dreams come true. I just have to get off my fat, lazy ass and try. I am wearing my headgear. Love, Ashley the Great. So, in the summer of '93, I had my 15 minutes of fame when my family was chosen to participate in the Mark Summers hosted show, What Would You Do? And they played it so much that summer, I was the coolest babysitter in the entire neighborhood. I never did marry Joey McIntyre. But I did get a dog. Her name is Penelope, and she is the best dog in the whole wide world. And I'm also happy to say that my headgear paid off, and I now have very straight teeth.